Branched-chain amino acids are big business, and every year millions of pounds are spent on things such as these. And you've likely seen someone down at your local gym chugging them down. Must be worth spending some of your hard-earned cash on them. Well, actually, no. If you're taking this supplement with a view to helping you gain some muscle and some strength, in today's video we'll unpack why this supplement is pretty much useless for that. Okay, and just a quick one. What is my association with this brand? Well, I have no association. I'm not being paid to talk about branched-chain amino acids. I'm just bringing this information to you. So full disclosure, I bought these with my own money. But this leads me to my question of the day is, have you ever bought branched-chain amino acids yourself? Go ahead, let me know in the comment section, drop me a message and let me know if you're currently using a product like this. I'm interested to know. Okay, so the rationale for using branched-chain amino acids in the diet, it actually makes quite a bit of sense. Now, when it comes to muscle building, we need to obtain from the diet the 9 essential amino acids that we don't get or we don't make in the body. 3 of those essential amino acids are known as the branched-chain amino acids for short, BCAAs. And those are the leucine, the isoleucine and valine. The leucine of these branched-chain amino acids, that is of particular interest to us, as that molecule is the signaling protein for MPS, muscle protein synthesis, which is the signaling that starts muscle building. The theory behind this supplement is then, if you have a constant supply of branched-chain amino acids, namely leucine in the branched-chain amino acids, say if you're sipping on something like this in between meals, then you're keeping leucine levels high or elevated, which potentially might lead to elevated signaling, which might lead to more muscle gain over the course of days, weeks, months and years. Yay, muscle building! But sadly, it doesn't quite work like that. And here's the things. Yes, you do need the leucine to trigger muscle protein synthesis, but in order to build muscle, you also need all of the other essential amino acids to be incorporated into the new muscle tissue. Without the supply of all of the essential amino acids, you simply aren't going to be building bigger and better, stronger muscle. You do know what contains all of the 9 essential amino acids that you need for muscle building? Plant-based proteins, animal-based proteins, aka whole foods. Wow, who knew, right? Actual food. Whoa. And then the next thing is, after leucine has stimulated MPS, there needs to be a period of time before that can be stimulated again. So there needs to be a number of hours for the leucine in the blood to then come down. And this is what's known in the field as the refractory period. You've got to let it come down before you can get it up again. So essentially, sipping on branched-chain amino acids between meals is going to somewhat interfere with that refractory period, because it's not going to allow the amino acid to come down in the blood, because you're going to keep them elevated, which might actually prevent muscle building or prevent some muscle building. Damn! This is why, as a nutritionist, to clients, we often prescribe protein spacing throughout the day, every kind of 3, 4, 5 hours. That's not a fixed rule, but as a general rule. This allows to deal with that refractory period. So for the elevated amounts of leucine in the blood to come down for that refractory period, and then hitting that protein intake again, spiking the leucine content, and then stimulating MPS. So then it come down a few hours and then spiking it again. This then allows the cells to become more sensitive to receiving the next hit of protein. So if you're sipping on branched-chain amino acids between meals, you're likely not letting your cells become sensitive again to receiving that new nutrition. And the next thing is, muscle building requires an elongation phase, which requires a calorie content. Since we are building tissue, new tissue, this has a calorie cost. It costs calories to build something in the body. So the body needs calories from the diet to maintain muscle building over the course of days, weeks, months and years. So it's not all just about getting as much protein in as humanly possible. You'll need to ensure that you're getting adequate calories in from things like carbohydrate and fats to help fuel the workouts and to help fuel the muscle building process also. That's a key reason why it's hard to build muscle when you're dieting, when you're in a calorie deficit, because there simply isn't enough calories to sustain muscle building. And you know what does have adequate calories, carbohydrates and fats that you could use to build muscle? You guessed it, whole foods. Even if you're dieting and you want to keep calories low, but keep protein high, then instead of a branched-chain amino acid supplement, supplementing with a whey protein supplement or a plant-based blend protein supplement would be far more effective at helping you to build muscle because, again, those contain all of the essential amino acids as well as the branched-chain amino acids. Are there potential situations in which BCAAs might be of some benefit for us? Well, possibly, maybe, potentially. As we know, BCAAs do contain high amounts of the branched-chain amino acids, namely the leucine. So if you were consuming, say, a meal that was low in branched-chain amino acids, say if you were a vegan or vegetarian and you were eating a plant-based protein that was maybe low in these things, then you could, in theory, supplement with the BCAAs to then top up and add in those amino acids to then make your meal a complete meal in terms of protein. That would work for sure. But what you could also do before adding in the BCAAs is you could probably just add in more of the plant-based protein you were already eating, because that would increase the amino acid content. Or you could supplement in with a vegan plant-based protein powder, because again, that would bring the levels up also. So BCAAs in that situation could work, but also there's a few other situations or few other options available to you before BCAAs were the one to go with. One other potential use for BCAAs is that they might potentially help you recover from delayed onset muscle soreness, so DOMS. But again, there's not really great research on this, it's rather mixed. But also, if you're eating adequate protein from whole foods anyway in the diet, you're likely getting enough of the BCAAs anyway. So in that situation, would supplementing in help or not? Probably not. It's only really if you're eating inadequate amounts already where the BCAA supplement would do anything. But likely if you're training and exercising regularly, you're probably covered on this front from whole foods. Okay, so I've tried to give you some reasons why you could buy this product or potentially buy this product. But in truth, there aren't really any good rationale for including this in if you're already consuming 3 to 4 to 5 meals of protein in every day, and if you're eating mixed proteins, if you're vegan or vegetarian, or if you're eating just good animal protein. If not, if you're spacing these meals out every 3 to 5 hours, you're pretty much covered for all of your protein needs. And that pretty much sums it up. So your best course of option, if muscle building is an aim, strength is an aim, or muscle retention is an aim when dieting, is to spend your money on whole food protein sources, whether that be animal-based or plant-based. If you feel the need to supplement with something, again, your best option beyond whole foods is going to be protein powders, because they contain all of the essential amino acids anyway. But really, supplementing in with BCAAs, if you're covered on those things I just talked about, likely not really worth your investment, unless you're having meals that are low in BCAAs, in which case you could use this. But again, I gave you reasons why you could easily sort that out. So BCAAs, unfortunately, not doing much for us. But that's all for now. So from me, for now, that's all, and I'll see you next video.